What's up, everybody? This is the first and possibly last, but now this is the first episode of The Art of Madness. I'm JC, and I'll be taking you on your journey. So, what I'm wanting to do with this podcast is I'm wanting to get local and upcoming artists, whether it be musicians to painters, tattoo artists, uh, really anything, to come on the show, talk to them a little bit, figure out what makes them tick, figure out what they do to become inspired, what inspires them, where their heads at when they're, making art. I've got some people that are interested in coming on, um, and it's not going to be just traditional artist type deals. Also, might have some martial artists, some wrestlers come on. By the way, I'm a huge wrestling fan. Always have been, and it's like a beautiful dance watching a fight. I believe Bruce Lee said that. But yeah, that's one thing that I'm wanting to do is I'm just wanting to right now introduce you to things that are going to be going on. Right now, it's a crazy time with the COVID-19, and a lot of people are out of work. Um, all my thoughts are out to the essential workers, especially nurses and doctors and EMTs and anybody that's in the medical field setting. Um, my heart goes out to all of y'all and thank y'all for the job that you're doing. But now let's talk about art. And yes, I love to wear, colorful clothes, anything off the wall. I like my Hawaiian shirts. I'm a big guy, so, Hawaiian shirts look good. I love tattoos, as you can see. Well, you can't really see that one, but this arm's about to start my sleeve on it as soon as they open up. Hurry up, tattooed lady. Just name dropped you there. Thank you, CJ. But also, art is in facial hair. Because if you grow a beard, and mine's a little scruffy today, I've been in lockdown, so I haven't really been prepping it like I should. But when you grow a beard, you should take the time to take care of your beard. So I've tried many different products from Walmart brand to different brands at the mall and all these different people that are on TV and stuff. Like I've tried so many different brands of stuff. But I finally found one that is really worth the buck. It's called Groomed Goon. You can follow them on Instagram. You can follow them on Facebook at Groomed Goon. Right now I'm using the Gentleman. It's amazing. I love the scent. I'm using the bar wash and the oil. They also have butters and things like that. But I bought a little set from them and comes with a brush and some different other stuff. And plus they send you some samples here and there. Try them out. Trust me, if you have a beard, you'll fall in love with the scents, and so will your significant other. Well, besides that, art is really anything. Anything that inspires you, I believe, is art. My favorite artist, well, my favorite painter, I should say, would be Vincent van Gogh. I got to see Starry Night when I was in high school at an exhibit in Jackson, Mississippi. Yes, if you can't tell, I'm from the South. I have an accent. I didn't realize my accent was this bad until I heard myself, so this is new to me. But Starry Night really spoke to me, and I never really realized why until recently. I moved from when I was growing up. I grew up in a town called Carrollton, Mississippi. Very rural. Well, actually, I lived on the outskirts. I lived in a place called Teock, and Teock, there was nobody. Like my closest neighbor, there was a goat pasture in between us. Like it was great looking back. Wasn't much to do. We did a lot of four-wheeler riding and stuff like that. But at night, you'd look up and like I never realized it when I lived there because you take things for granted. But you could see almost every star in the night sky. And it was beautiful. It was peaceful. It would give you peace. And looking back, that's one thing that I miss because now I live in Maryville, Tennessee, which is a lot bigger. They call it a small town here, but it's a city. It's a small city. I mean, it's just right down the road from Knoxville, and you don't get to see the stars like that, and it's heartbreaking. But so I guess that's why that painting really speaks to me is because it reminds me of a simpler time, my childhood, things like that. Um, but that's probably my favorite painting and my favorite artist. And also, I did some research on Van Gogh, and I have done research, and I've got multiple books on him and things like that. He also was interesting to me because he was mentally ill, and I'm not sure if it specifies exactly what his diagnosis was, but I believe he was. It was believed that he was bipolar, which I'm bipolar. I have bipolar two disorder, so I mean it's one of those things that we kind of have in common, and I can kind of see where he gets some of his craziness from because I mean, hey, but I mean honestly, what creative person doesn't have aren't what crazy person isn't off just a little bit? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, look at your great artists in history. Look at Van Gogh. Look at Kurt Cobain. I mean, these guys. Look at Robin Williams. That's another art form that really hits home for me is comedy because a lot of your comedians are coming from such a dark place, but they're doing it. They're making light out of their situations to bring light to others to make others laugh. That really hits home because I was always a clown, things like that. I do anything to make somebody laugh, make somebody feel better. Um, and it's just, comedy is one of those art forms that you're allowed to really say whatever you want and get away with it. And it's pure. Which one thing we'll talk about is I don't like how PC is getting into art. There's a place for PC. Don't get me wrong. Not in art. Art is full expression. Whatever you're feeling at that moment, that's what you're supposed to let out. Especially in comedy. This PC generation is killing comedy. Now you have comedians that are having to be careful with every little thing they say because they're scared of the backlash. And then you have comedians like Joe Rogan, who I'm a huge fan of, huge fan of his podcast. If you haven't seen it, the Joe Rogan Experience, check it out. It's definitely worth a watch. Um, he has some amazing people come on there, including Elon Musk, uh, who is probably the Tesla of our generation, which is funny because he owns a company called Tesla, but that's beside the point. But Joe Rogan says whatever's on his mind. Dave Chappelle is one of them. He was just honored here recently with the I want to say Mark Twain Award. It's the highest award for a comedian, and he was just awarded with it. And he's one of those that he's always said what's on his mind. I mean, and he's a genius. I mean, the things that he says really comes to light because I don't believe that there's any ill will in the man at all. Just from what I can see, I don't know him personally, but from what I can see, there's no ill will in him. It's just he's saying what he says to make a point to make people think, and that's one point I want to get to with comedy is if the comedian is not making you question your beliefs and he's not offending you a little bit, he's not doing his job. Because I believe a comedian, they're supposed to antagonize different parts of your brain to make you question yourself, and that is offensive to many. Um, but it's good to question your thoughts. It's good to question your beliefs. And anybody that says it's not, I mean, they really need to step out of their cocoon a little bit. Because if you never question your beliefs, then how can you build faith in what you believe in? I've talked to many people about that because personally I'm a very spiritual person. I have friends that aren't. and we have some really good discussions, and we talk about the different philosophies and everything that goes along with it. And it makes me think more, and it does make me question my beliefs to an extent, but also so far it has made my beliefs even stronger because, I mean, if you question something over time, you're either going to stop believing in it or believe in it even more. So that's just something to think about. But I don't know how we got off on that rant, but oh yeah, comedy. But another comedian that I really like is Bert Kreischer. If I said his last name wrong, I apologize. He's the one that does The Machine. He's hilarious. He's vulgar. I love it. It's definitely something to look into if you don't know who he is. He's also got a podcast with Tom Segura. Yeah, I think his name is Tom Segura. It's called Two Bears, One Cave. It's hilarious. It's hilarious to hear these guys get together and talk. Um, Joe Rogan has them on his podcast all the time. They have a small circle of comedians and everything, and it's fun to hear these guys get together and just start talking crap to one another and back and forth. But it's interesting. It's interesting. It definitely is interesting. We're living in an interesting time. Um, you know, some of the art that I see when I walk outside now, when I go outside, not very often, is masks that people are wearing. I mean, it's crazy. Like I've got some that are Harry Potter. I've got some that are Flowerty. I got my little girl one that's Paw Troll. Paw Troll. Sorry, I call it Paw Troll because that's what she calls it. It's Paw Patrol. It's amazing what you start doing when you have a toddler. Um, but yeah, we she doesn't go out anywhere, so she doesn't get to wear hers. But it's a scary time right now, and whether you believe in whatever you believe in this time. I mean, there's so much stuff going around right now. Whether you believe this is the New World Order, whether you believe this is China's trying to get back at us for trade deals because of Trump, whatever. Whether you think it's the Democrats trying to make Trump lose the election, whether you think it's Trump just trying to be Trump, I don't know. I don't want to get very political on here because plenty of people know my political standings and they don't agree with it. Um, I don't have a party. I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. I think the two political party system is stupid. Um, yeah, and I've thought that for a while, and especially looking back in history, how that's not what our founding fathers wanted. But that's beside the point. Back to art. like another art form that really speaks to me personally is music. Um, and the reason why I wanted to start a podcast dealing with different types of art is because I love art. I love all forms of art, but I am not artistic whatsoever. I do not have an artistic bone in my body. I'm sad to say I did not get that from my parents. Both my parents were very artsy people. My dad he could draw things. He could do woodwork and stuff like that. My mom used to paint and stuff. Both of them played instruments. And then I'm just sitting here like, huh. Then my brother apparently got that gene because he's an art. He's done some amazing things in a little bit of time that I've seen him do, like airbrush work and stuff like that. It's incredible. Shout out, love you, Josh. Um, but yeah, like music, music kind of makes us who we are. It's our taste in music. Like I'm not really a mainstream type of guy. Um, actually, my favorite artist right now, and has been for a while, is probably a guy that some of y'all have heard of, some of y'all probably haven't. His name is Jelly Roll. He's a fat white dude that raps. He's dope. Just gonna go ahead and tell you, he's from Tennessee, but he doesn't do that hick rap stuff. Like, I mean, dude is dope. Like, just look up some of his stuff. Look up Wheels Fall Off or any of his new album. His new album's fire. Like he just released it. I want to say in March. No, it's before the COVID hit. So like right before the COVID hit. But maybe February. That sounds about right. Yeah. Sorry, my chair's a little squeaky. By the way, you're in the poor man's studio because, again, like everybody else, I'm broke. I do have a nice mic right here. Yeah, just got that in today. And we're setting up and doing our first video. How exciting is that? Let's get down to business. Whoop, whoop. But yeah, like I said, I'm from Mississippi, so I've got strong country roots. But I'm not your typical Southern person. I went to Mississippi State for a while. I didn't get to finish my degree because I moved up here to take care of my niece. My fiance just finished her master's degree. Proud of you. Love you. And she'll be moving up here shortly. Thank goodness. Because I'm lonely. But no, I just want to have fun with this thing, see where it goes. See if I can get some attention to some of the artists that are up and coming or struggling. And, get some attention to people that I know that have an impact on my life, like my tattoo artists and things like that. By the way, if you want to get tattooed and you're in Maryville, Tennessee, or in this area, go to the Tattooed Lady. Any of the artists there, they all do amazing work. My personal artist from there is CJ. Tell her JC sent you. All right. I lost my train of thought. This is going to happen a lot, by the way. I go on long rants and then I just lose train of thought. But I like to talk, so it is what it is. And if you guys have any topics dealing with or not dealing with art, there's a type of art that I don't even know about, tell me about it. I'll look it up. I got nothing else to do. I'm unemployed right now. I did just get a call back today that we're going back to work May 11th. Yes. Start making some money again. So I can increase my equipment and keep you people happy. If even one of y'all sees this, that'll be great. But I'm going to do my best. And, I plan on trying to make this at least a weekly thing. Right now it might be more because, again, I'm bored and I have nothing to do. When the baby goes to sleep, I'm just chilling like a villain. But, so yeah, we were talking about music. But, yeah, like I said, check out Jelly Roll. You can check him out on Instagram and Twitter. I think it's Jelly Roll 619, something like that. Jelly Roll 6 something 612 maybe. I don't actually. Let me check that real quick. Just pause for just a second. You can see his wife on there too, and she's like, Jelly Roll. I'm just gonna say, if you see this, congratulations, man. From one big guy to the next, congratulations. Making the fat man proud. Jelly Roll 615. That's his tag on Insta. Check him out. I'll have an Instagram, or you can follow me on Instagram as well. I don't even know what my Instagram is. I think it's like @RealMrBlake. Yeah, Real Mr. Blake. No caps, just Real Mr. Blake. RealMrBlake. Check me out. I'll be posting videos of this, Groom Goon, workout stuff. I love the gym. I think that's art form in itself. We'll get into that stuff later. And and everything. And also, let me know what tunes y'all listen to when y'all work out, because I'm needing to update my playlist. I've been when I do work, well, when this lockdown is over with and I get to go back to the gym, I'll be listening to some what's their name? I've got to look at their name in order to say it. Amon Amarth. Amon Amarth. They do some heavy duty Viking rock. It's pretty dope. It's kind of screamo, kind of. Very heavy. Definitely get you ready to lift some heavy weights, which is what I like to do. I like to lift heavy weights. Then I found a guy last night, the Lab Rats. Never heard of them. Heard one song from them called Devil's Train. it's interesting. Like he's telling a story, and I think that is been lost in music is nobody really tells stories anymore. Um, Now it's just people just talking crap. And like most rappers nowadays, like it's hard for me to listen to them because it's either they're mumbling or they just have nothing to say. I need content. I need to know where you're coming from. I need to know what's going on. That's why I like Jelly so much. Like I keep going back to Jelly, but dude is speaking from the heart and soul. Like he's giving you everything he's got in these songs, and he don't just release singles. This man is releasing full albums at a time, which I have a lot of respect for because again, because of iTunes and Spotify and things like that, that's a lost art. You don't have good albums anymore. You just have, oh, that was a hit song. Oh, that was fire. Whatever. But most of these rappers, if they put out a full album, they would flop. Same thing with most rockers nowadays. I mean, I don't even know any of the really modern rock. I mean, I'm still listening to Hinder, Theory of a Dead Man, people like that. I mean, and yes, Nickelback. Y'all can hate on Nickelback all you want. I don't understand why there's so much hate for Nickelback. They have done so much since I've been listening to them, and I think I've been listening to them since 2000. I mean, Nickelback has, they've had a top hit in the past two. I think they had one in '99, so that'd be 2 decades at least. But but also Puddle of Mud, Creed. Yeah, hey, say what you want to about Creed. Creed's dope. Everybody rocks out to Creed. I don't care if you're by yourself and your boys are gone home. You're gonna listen to some Creed. Get in the mood, especially if you got a girl with you. You're gonna listen to some Creed. Try to get in the mood. That's beside the point. Y'all can say what you want to, but Creed's dope. Don't be hating on Creed. But I mean, I do mess with some of the rap. I mean, I like Lil Wayne. Who don't like Lil Wayne? Young Weezy. I mean, come on now, The Fireman. That's a hit. I mean, Lollipop. He's got more tracks that I can count that are fire. Eminem. Eminem's dope. I mean, he's the rap god. You don't mess MGK. Don't mess with Eminem. Don't do it. I know this is long. I know you haven't come out with anything ever since the Kill Shot. Don't. Suicide. Who else was it that was trying to diss Eminem? I know Logic did a song with Eminem, which was fire. I mean, those two together are really good. I like Logic too. I think Logic, speaks from the heart. It was all about peace, love, and positivity. I love that. And plus, I love reggae. Can't tell. I'm a big fan of reggae. Love some Bob Marley now. Love him. Goes with the island shirt. You know what I'm saying? But it's just all fun. We're gonna have fun on this, and eventually, I'm gonna have my partner here with me, the Doctor Frank Jones. Love you, Frank, Mr. Jones. We can ride all day long. Frank Jones. But yeah, he'll be joining us here eventually, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have some discussions, and we're gonna bring some guests on the show. We're gonna have fun with it. And we hope that y'all have fun at home. We hope that y'all like listening. We hope that you learn some things. I hope that I learned some things. Because if you're not learning something, you're wasting time. But this is a fun way to do it. And I just want to say thanks to everybody that's going to be out there and support us and help push us. Push us on social media. Like, share, comment. Push the mess out of this. Come on, guys. Get to it.